الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. My dear respected listeners, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when created the humankind, even before they were given bodies, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took a pact from them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has explained this pact, this deal that took place between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the humankind at multiple places in the Quran. إِنَّا عَرَضْنَا الْأَمَانَةَ عَلَى السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَالْجِبَالِ فَأَبَيْنَ أَنْ يَحْمِلْنَهَا وَأَشْفَقْنَ مِنْهَا وَحَمَلَهَا الْإِنسَانِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala presented this amana, this trust over the earth, upon the skies, upon the mountains. None of them took it. None of them dared to take it and got scared of it. وَأَشْفَقْنَا مِنْهَا, got scared of it. وَحَمَلَهَا الْإِنسَانِ, and the humankind, insan, took it. إِنَّهُ كَانَ ظَلُومًا جَهُولًا. Definitely, without doubt, insan, humankind, is cruel and ignorant to an extreme degree, to a superlative degree. إِنَّهُ كَانَ ظَلُومًا, not zaliman but zaluman, jahula, not jahil but jahula, extreme degree. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and different ulama have explained it in different manner, but this trust that has been put upon humankind, that we took willingly, is that we fulfill the responsibilities of being the Khalifa, the vicegerent of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon this earth. And it's such a huge responsibility that huge magnificent creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, such as mountains and the sky and the earth, were not able to take it upon themselves. This life of ours, by virtue of being Muslims, by virtue of being humans at the first level, and by virtue of being Muslims, is full of responsibilities. And this is the difference between people who know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and people who do not know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. People who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and people who do not believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That the people who have believed, the people who have become Muslims, they recognize their responsibilities. They recognize that there's tons and millions of responsibilities that human beings, us as human beings have to fulfill. That we have to fulfill. While the people who do not believe, they have made this life a means of joke, a means of joy, a means of fun. And that's their whole purpose of being here. All the effort that they do, even, they do not do it for a higher goal, they do not do it as a responsibility, but they do it only to increase their fun. Maybe later on in life, maybe for their families, maybe through increasing their money and being able to find new avenues and new opportunities of fun. But human beings, they fulfill their responsibilities knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who has put those responsibilities upon us, and we are answerable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for these responsibilities. If we fulfill them, we go to Jannah. If we do not, we get the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment. The Prophet ﷺ has said, كُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَمَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. All of you are looking after someone, and you are shepherds. You are looking after as if you are herd. وَمَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. And on the day of judgment, you will be asked about the people that were under you. مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. Are all of us kings? Are all of us rulers and presidents? No. But all of us have been given responsibilities, and all of us have been made kings over someone. To begin with, we have our bodies, 5 to 6 feet, and in some cases 7 feet, of our kingdom, about which we will be asked how we took care of it. Did we fulfill the responsibilities that were put by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that were asked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this kingdom of ours that we have? But today, more importantly, and the ayah that I recited in the beginning, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that safeguard yourself, and not only yourself, wa ahlikum, your ahl, your family members, the people who are dependent on you, the people who look up to you, safeguard them from fire. And one of our great mashayikh of our times, Shaykh al-Islam Mufti Taqi Usmani Madadilluhum, he said that when we recite this ayah, when he explained this ayah, he said, don't think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about some hypothetical fire, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about something that you will see at a later date, at a later time. Imagine that if there is a fire in your own house, and your child, for example, maybe left a toy at their home, inside their home, and even if you are safe and your family is safe, your child or your family is running into that burning house trying to get that toy, trying to recover that toy. The eagerness with which you run after your child to not let them go, no matter how much they want to safeguard their toy, that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to say here. قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا. It is a very live fire, a very real fire that you should feel is right in front of your eyes, and you have to run after your children, you have to run after your families and safeguard them from burning themselves. So the responsibilities that I am talking about today, inshallah, these pertain to providing food, providing sustenance and livelihood for our families. But if we think about it, all of things in that regard, good food, good clothing, good house to live in, there's two very unique things, very ajib things about this. Number one is that no matter how hard we try, no matter if we put all our resources to this cause, we can never ever, with all our effort, make these things go to them in their graves. Make these things become a source of benefit for them in the hereafter. While Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about safeguarding them from the hellfire. The other unique thing is that having known this fully as Muslims, having believed in this, most of our effort, in fact, almost all of our effort, is dedicated towards providing these material things which are in reality immaterial. We think they are material, but they are immaterial in terms of akhirah. All of our days, all of our nights, in fact, we sleep because we want to be able to get to our workplace fresh. So all of our days, all of our nights, all of our capacities are dedicated to the cause of providing good food, good clothing, good housing to ourselves and our children and our families. The real responsibility that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about. And of course, providing these things are our responsibility. We cannot say that we will do one thing and not do the other. But if we have to choose, we will choose their akhirah over this world. We'll choose their akhirah over this world. So, if we have to choose between food and Islam, we'll have to choose Islam for them. If we have to choose between nice clothing and luxury living and Islam, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from that situation, that we have to choose between things and we can get only one or the other. But hypothetically speaking, it is our belief that if such a situation arises, we have to choose our iman, our deen, and the deen of our children and our families over everything else. But my dear respected brothers, if you look at our lives, if you look at what we are doing with our children, if you look at what we are doing with our families, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put this responsibility upon us, not upon the imam of the masjid, not upon the school that we are sending our children to, not upon the tafsir class that our wife may be taking. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put that responsibility on us. We have to take care of the world, of the dunya, and of the religion and deen of our families. And more importantly, we have to take care of the deen of our families. So at times, when we have to make a choice, and it's not a very hard and fast and a clear choice, something that everyone is able to understand, but if we think about it, if we ponder, we are able to see that we made a choice. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put a responsibility upon us to teach our children deen as soon as they are able to take it, as soon as they are able to understand it. By virtue of that, it becomes our responsibility that we spend time with our children and teach them deen. How many of us do that? How many of us do that? If we are not doing that, we are deficient as parents. We are deficient. We have a deficiency. We do not have a right. We are not good parents if we are not caring and spending time with our children and teaching them deen. How will we do that? We do not know the deen ourselves. We haven't, because our parents did not spend time with us. Because we never cared about deen in our own lives, how will we ever be able to teach our children deen? Teach them what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from them. Teach them what they are, what is their identity. How will we ever do it when we are confused about it ourselves? So my dear respected brothers, to fulfill that responsibility, the mechanism that Islam has told us is that the male of the family, and if possible the female should come as well, to learn their deen and then teach their deen to their children. Children are not supposed to learn directly, technically speaking, ideally speaking. Islam, what school did the Prophet ﷺ establish for the children of Sahaba? Who taught Quran to the children of Sahaba? The Sahaba themselves. The Prophet ﷺ did never ever in his whole lifetime establish a place where children would come and learn the Quran. The parents were responsible. Now, of course, in this day and time when lives have become so busy, the schools, the madaris, the places of religious education that are established, they are established because we as parents are deficient, because we do not have what it takes to teach our children. That is why, as a second option, children are being sent to school. But even that is better than nothing. Even that is better than nothing. But my dear respected brothers, we have to open up our eyes. We have to open up. We have to begin thinking, are we fulfilling the rights of our children in terms of deen? Are they, the way that they are going, are they going to grow up as good Muslims, as at least better Muslims than us? If we only judge by that criteria, that at whatever state I am, are my children going to be better than me in terms of deen, or are they going to be worse? And if you look at, my experience has been that illa mashallah, except for a few exceptions here and there, Deen is being driven out generation after generation after generation. The first generation that came here from elsewhere, they had grown up in an environment of Deen, but they were so impressed when they reached here. They were so impressed and so much under pressure that they restricted Deen to their homes and their personal life. When time came for the child to go to school, it just did not occur to them. They did not think that it is one option, that I can raise my children according to how I had been raised. It just did not occur to them. They just did not think of it. The necessary outcome, with continuous influence from their peers and the system here, children started considering, the second generation started considering Deen, started considering Islam and religion a burden. Something that we have to follow only when we are in the presence of our parents. They did not develop that connection, their personal connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with Deen. That it is something that will save us, that is useful for us, that is necessary for us. They only developed this connection with their Deen, that whenever we are in the presence of our elders, whenever we are in the presence of our teachers, whenever we are in the presence of our parents, we have to follow the basic of Deen. So mother would run after the children at time of Salah, and those are all exceptions. Most houses, even that is not there. That the mother or the father would run after their children, say your Salah, it's Salah time, say your Salah. And that is the story of the second generation. Imagine when these people will grow up, what kind of level of Iman and Deen will their children have? When their Deen is restricted only to the pressure of their parents and their elders, what will they transfer? What will they give to their future generation? My dear respected brothers, this is something to think about for all of us. Many of us have children, many of us have grandchildren, and many of us do not have children but will soon have them, inshallah. So we have to think about this. And it's never too late, it's never too early. We have to start devising things, we have to start thinking of things where the future of our children will be safeguarded in the more important aspect, which is the aspect of akhirah, the more important aspect which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about in the Quran, and the Prophet ﷺ has emphasized, and where the Prophet ﷺ has said that you will be asked about your ri'ayah. The people who are under you, you will be asked about those people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us about those people. Did you pay proper attention? Did you give proper time to the tarbiyah, the akhlaq, the development in terms of deen to your children? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq. Inshallah we'll keep talking about this in the future. And